but you have to find them in a certain spot at a certain time. I literally went to like a fork in the road where I knew, someone had tracked where he was like going online. And I went to this little fork in the road and I put my house there, and all I built was a couch. And then I used one of the emoticons to lay on the couch like a pretty lady. And I just sat there and waited and waited and waited for like 2 hours. And finally he showed up, got to him, and he didn't have it. I'm like, are you kidding me? And in order to get enough atomic credits to even buy them, like the neon lights, they were like 9,000 atomic credits. So I had to find a glitch where, what was it? It was one of the nuclear towers or nuclear plants. And you literally go in this weird circle up the stairs into these different points, and they have the cash stash or the cap stashes there. And I would do it over and over again, then jump worlds, and then do it over and over again. I did it for 3 days to get 9,000 atomic credits just so I can get the neon lights and spell whatever I wanted to on my house. Like, fuck off.
And then you were over it right after you spelled you wanted to spell.
You put even five neon lights up, and it took your entire, storage to build your house and stuff. So, like, you could have a wall and these lights, and that's your house. You can't build anymore. It was awful. On that note, that is the biggest complaint with the PlayStation 2, the Sims game, was the cap out on house size, because certain things took up a lot of space, and it's like it's a couch. Why does this couch take up so much more space than that couch when the bed doesn't take up anywhere near as much as a couch? Right, and you have a kid and it just destroys everything.
Oh yeah, because now you got to put in a crib, but the only way to put in the crib, because you already maxed out everything, is to get rid of the fridge, because it's the only thing you can have expendable, because you can order food. You know what I mean? It was very frustrating. The whole size cap thing in games is very unproportionate to what you actually buy the game to do. I mean, right. I like to build. I like to, do that stuff, fill it with stuff, make it like the computer game where it's unlimited space. Like, I don't understand why there's a cap.
What's the money cheat? Rosebud?
Motherload.
Oh, Motherload.
Is 50,000.
Am I right with the Rosebud
LOD.
one, though?
Yeah. Rosebud was one of them. I can't remember what that gave you. I haven't gotten it to work again, but there used to be a thing where you'd type in Motherload and then do like semicolon, exclamation, semicolon, exclamation, semicolon, exclamation, until you ran out of space, and then you'd hit enter, and every semicolon, exclamation was Motherload again.
Like a re-enter,
Yeah, so you would hit enter and suddenly have like $30 million.
Which is awesome.
It's awesome if you remembered to copy it so you could paste it the next time, but...
Didn't it get rid of all your money if you went into it?
No.
Or did it keep it?
No, you always had your money.
Okay.
That's probably the best part about the whole thing, is having those little cheats for the people who just want to build, because it's impossible to gain enough money to do a damn thing.
Right. I'm going to go back to 76 for a second.
Slide back.
For as terrible and frustrating as the game was, I'm going to share a story of what we did in the game to make it more interesting. Because a lot of us and our friends pretty much did everything you could do in the game, quest-wise. So me and Mr. Gabriel decided to build an arena with a ring in it, and we had a boxing match. You'd have to get rid of all your armor and your you can have like a costume on, but it has to be no armor, no weapons. It was bare knuckle. You couldn't use any perks to make yourself alive again. And we did. We had like 13 people in this little arena thing. You were there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And but before that, one of the guys that was in there decided to bring out his mini nuke gun, and he literally wouldn't put it away, even though we kept asking him to put it away. Like, we were trying to put on a show. We had like a press conference area room where we had a bunch of chairs and we told everybody to sit down, and he didn't want to sit down because he still had his mini nuke. He wanted to show his, dominance, I guess. So we yelled at him. And...
Well, real quick, you got to explain. The mini nuke is not easy to get or find in the game, and that was the biggest reason why he wouldn't put it away, because he was trying to be, Mr. Big Shot. But also, the reason for needing to put it away is if he accidentally hit the button, it would have destroyed everything.
Right, all that we work for.
Yeah, go ahead.
We had a press conference, and we kind of have entrances for them. Some people were frustrated. It was really a rough concept, but we wanted to do it, and it was amazing to see that many people, because you could only have teams of 4 people. So to have 16 people in there that weren't on your team, and you're just all listening to each other, was a fun time. And whoever was fighting went down almost immediately. It was pretty fucking funny. I think he had like a mask on and he looked like a barbarian. It was hilarious. And I was dressed up as Santa. I was the referee.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And Santa, the ref.
And the way that we would make bets, and the way that you would pay the person, you would buy one of the shittiest bullets from that person. You could sell them a bullet for nothing, and they would take it, and then you'd buy it back for 500 credits or caps, whatever you bid.
It was interesting times.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like getting back into it now is kind of difficult. They've changed some stuff. They have a Battle Royale mode now. I haven't tested it out at all.
It feels like they were watching us, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
It's like the same exact thing of what we were doing.
Right. It was really fun going to the nuke zones and, trying to fight Death Claws with 30 other people. Or not Death Claws, the fucking
the
dragon
the
things. Yeah. That was good times. Good times. Yeah, like I said, I don't know what it's like now, but people out there with PS4, please download Detroit Becoming Human. It's a great fucking game.
And it's free.
And it's free for this month, so you only got a couple days left. But it's an interactive story. You play as 4 different androids, which it's set in the future, and everybody has their own robot, and it's got human emotions. These robots break through their programming, and they become deviants, is what they call them. They literally get a conscience, they're literally alive. They have memories. They feel pain. And, they band together. One of them saves a girl. But in the same aspect...
the storyline.
I'm just saying, that's the thing, is I'm telling you this one storyline, but it's almost like Black Mirror Bandersnatch. Choose your own adventure. You have choices, almost every little thing, and there's a tree at the end. It shows you, what route you took, so that you could play it again and take a different route. And you can play it again, take an even different route. It's insane. It's a pretty good interactive story. It's not a whole lot of button mashing. You're not killing people. You're making choices. That's what this game's all about. So I suggest anybody check it out.
It's pretty fun.
Which you also get the creator of its first game called Heavy Rain, which kind of has a similar attribute about it. It felt more like The Sims. It had more options to it. You go up to somebody, you go up to your wife, and she, you ask her if you can help unload the groceries. Or you could ask her, about her day or something else. There's 4 different options. And this was really deep tree. I had asked her something else besides helping with the groceries. And then she kind of got mad because I didn't ask if I could help with the groceries. And then it was me trying to come back and, tell her I love her. And then she's like, yeah, just get out of the kitchen, So it's that Heavy Rain is kind of like a horror interactive story, whereas Becoming Human is just a futuristic story. It's got some horror aspects about it, but overall, really, really, really good game. And I never thought it would be a really, really good game.
Very.
How have you? Sorry, have you played?
I have it. I played it a little bit, but I didn't get too far into it. I think I started it up and then I had to go to bed for or something. I never got back to it.
Right.
I got it when it was a free game a few months ago. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I can't remember how far I got.
Well,
I don't remember.
okay.
I don't remember everything about it. I mean,
I guess
yeah.
I have a little bit more information about it than you would, but when I first played it, like the first chapter, and then you see the tree and the options that you could have taken, I restarted the game. And then I realized, like, you can't restart it and unlock, all of it. You're never going to unlock the full tree. And I don't know if that's the case because I started reading online, and it's like, do the whole story once, complete it, and then do it again, and then you can unlock those different parts of the tree. Mm-hmm. So, I'm doing a walkthrough, which is kind of cheating, but I want the best ending. And the best ending keeps all your androids alive.
Oh, cool.
So, and then I will destroy them when I go and play it again, when I get time.
Yeah, I may or may not have lost two of them.
Already?
Well, the one gets a new version of him, so I mean that's okay then. But yeah, the first one I sacrificed him to save the girl.
Oh, okay.
Like that was my first. Like I just went off, morals of what I would probably do.
I think the alternate route was that you talk him down, and you stay alive, and she stays alive, but he gets shot off the building.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler for the first chapter, but those are different routes you can take.
Well, download it and start playing. Catch up with our words right now.
Catch up with our words, which is a good segue to our retro talk section. We need some like 80s beat behind that. I really want you to go on a tangent because you mentioned it last episode. You said you didn't want to get into it. I want you to get into it. Fucking Jane Jetson and the whole age thing has been driving me nuts, and I've told you not to explain it to me until now. So,
I'm trying to find the right spot so I could throw down the correct information.
Okay, I know it has something to deal with when they had Judy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, in the episode Rosie the Robot, Jane states that she's 33, which makes her 7 years younger than George. While she does look fairly younger than George, they're both depicted at college in the cosmic courtship of George and Jane, but neither character ages are mentioned in that one. So she's 33, which makes her 7 years younger than George, which makes him 40. But while she's 33, her daughter Judy is 16.
Okay.
The
math.
17 when she had Judy.
Which would make George
what is that called? Statutory rape?
A pedophile?
Yeah.
That would make George a pedophile?
That would make him 24 when she was 17, when she had the child.
Which I guess back then, isn't a stretch.
Yeah, back then it wasn't as an issue as it is now. I mean, the show could survive if they just tweaked their ages just slightly. If they said that Judy was 15, it would be just fine. Like, no one would shake their finger at it or nothing, but it's just the fact that he was 24, she was 17.
Maybe in the future it doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. Which
in
is
the
really
future,
fucking creepy.
They're all clones. Doesn't matter.
Which brings me to another retro it just made me think of it. I don't have this written down or anything, and I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, but Clone High